Hey guys, and welcome back here on German Reacts for another video. My name is Leroy, and today we're taking a look on the game the NCAA wants you to forget. Yeah, this was suggested by one of you guys, and let's not talk so much. Let's just hop into the video.
The officials have the toughest task.
Okay, so it's already 14 years ago.
Assess any penalties here.
You know, I say why they just meet outside in the tunnel after the ball game and get it on some more.
On this fateful day in 2006, one of college football's most infamous moments would occur. In a game that featured the University of Miami and FIU, what took place was so outrageous and disgraceful,
No front, but the right logo looks quite cool, and the left one kinda boring, right?
aftermath, which would be devastating, included 31 suspensions. Now, let me give you some context.
Florida International University, located in Miami. Today, the Panthers get big brother to the east, the University of Miami, located in Coral Gables.
Miami and FIU's campus are only 9 miles apart. So to say that these kids were familiar with each other would be an understatement. They were probably going to the same parties. Some of them probably hung
derby.
out. But at the end of the day, Miami is a private university. Plus, they're a way better football program. That would mean that all the better high school football players in the area went to Miami, while the lesser players who didn't get recruited to Miami probably went to FIU. This already had a recipe for animosity. It also doesn't help that Miami had developed a reputation as being, let's call it, undisciplined. Now put these two schools on the field against one another, you're just begging for something to go down.
Now we got a little shoving going on, a little frustration.
Just a second. So the first half seems to be alright, and then from the third quarter on, there's some small problems.
These two teams have been chippy the entire game. Well after plays, players from FIU were still going at it. Miami would score their second touchdown of the game, where he would then wave to the FIU sideline, then take a bow, which would later be flagged for an excessive celebration penalty. This seemed to have put the FIU players over the edge, because more than 30 seconds after the play was over, dudes were still jawing at one another. The tension between FIU and Miami had been building the entire game. Inevitably, it was going to snap.
John Petty's extra point is up and good, and another melee on the field. This one is getting out of hand. Flags all over the place, and this is ugly. Very ugly.
It's like anarchy. I don't know if you know the word or if I pronounce it correct, but I think it's called anarchy. Dude, everybody's joining. Holy shit.
After 50 seconds of pure chaos, state troopers and FIU police had to come on the field to restore order. After the teams finally began separating towards their own sidelines, the referees huddled up to discuss how they were going to penalize this brawl. It took them nearly 15 minutes to come up with an answer. That had to be the longest 15 minutes of all time. During that break in the action, Miami was seen celebrating and chanting, with fans proud of what had just gone down, and other fans fighting in the crowd, eventually to be stopped by the local police. But that's not even the worst part. Listen to what the other commentator during this broadcast had to say.
Wait a second. Did they say... Oh, so the fans also had some conflict. Holy shit.
Listen to what the other commentator during this broadcast had to say following the fight.
Now the Metro-Dade police trying to restore order.
Now that's what I'm talking about. You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked. You don't come in the OB playing that stuff. You across the ocean over there. You across the city. You can't come over to our place talking noise like that. You get your butt beat. I was about to go down the elevator and get in that thing.
Okay.
To assess any penalties here.
You know, I say why don't they just meet outside in the tunnel after the ball game and get it on some more.
So, this commentator,
Okay.
Lamar Thomas, was a former player for the Hurricanes back in the early 90s. Lamar was one of the program's best receivers ever, but he wasn't exactly the greatest guy in the world. In 1996, he was charged with aggravated battery after beating his pregnant fiancée. Lamar pled no contest and served jail time. Then he allegedly beat her again in 1997. He probably never deserved to be in that booth in the first place. Because of those comments he made during that game, Lamar Thomas was immediately fired. When the broadcast re-aired, they had cut those comments he made.
What a guy.
Like I said in the
BF.
beginning, 31 players would be suspended, 13 from Miami and 18 from FIU. Most of these guys served one-game suspensions. Number 26 for FIU, Chris Smith, was thrown off the team for this. And number 24 on FIU, McDuffie, was also thrown off the team for kicking that dude in the head. Number 26 on Miami, Anthony Reddick, pulled the most notorious move of all. It's what you all know now as the Myles Garrett move. He would be suspended indefinitely, but that indefinite suspension lasted only 4 games. The punishment overall was extremely light. This would anger many. An ESPN writer called Miami's one-game suspensions a soothing caress and manicure. Now, check out this photo. This picture of FIU player Ahmad Ned on crutches became infamous. It had kind of turned into a meme before memes were a big deal. But for FIU, they would continue to fall into the depths of despair. They finished the season.
What a legend. This guy is like completely done. But there's some action I need to join. I need to support my guys.
0-12, their coach resigned, and they would go on to lose 23 straight. For Miami, they would finish with their worst record in just about a decade. The legendary dynasty of the U was old news. Head coach Larry Coker had made a complete fool of himself. This dude had the balls to say this after the game, quote, "I think it'll affect the image of our program greatly, but in a positive way. I think that when they see the video and they see how it was handled, they will be impressed with our players."
Fuck. Yeah, that's quite impressive. They seem to be some nice guys, I'm not gonna lie, like I would invite them to my house for sure. Dude, this guy must have some crazy leg of, you know what I mean. This guy is some crazy dude.
You know what we be saying right now? We ready, we ready, we ready. We've had it down a couple years, but you don't come in here talking smack. Now y'all holler.
I mean, yes, on the one side I can understand why the NCAA wants you to forget this game, but on the other side, these are just human, right? And sports always has some emotions. Those were obviously too much, but yes, it was a big conflict, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think it's like the worst thing that can happen. There's some video about my football club, when they were going down one league, there was like even more anarchy. If you want me to react on this short video, I was in the stadium there, then leave a comment down below. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and see you guys for the next video. Peace.